Hey, Untamed television fans, it's your host Craig Bielek today, and I'm joined with Carrie and Nicole from the Brigham City Suicide Prevention Coalition. Woo! Boy, there were a lot of words in there. I had to make sure. This is Carrie and this is Nicole over here on the end, and we are just so pleased to have you here today because we're going to talk about something that is important, maybe not the cheeriest of subjects, of course, but it's suicide. And suicide is a reality here in our community. And it's becoming more prevalent. Is that a fair thing to say?
Absolutely. The rates just keep going higher and higher.
Higher and higher.
They do.
Yeah, there's virtually no one out there whose life has not been touched in some way by suicide.
Right.
And you folks have personal experience with suicide. Is that correct?
Yes, we do.
Yeah? Yeah. And one of the things you did was to form a support group.
Right. Well, I actually I started attending this support group that's done by Myers Mortuary in Brigham City.
Oh, okay.
And after about 3 years, they put me in as the facilitator. They hired me on, and so I've been facilitating that group for the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, you got the experience and
Right.
all of that and started to learn and all that. Why is a support group important?
It's helped me heal. I don't feel like you heal until you share your story and give your loved one's life a purpose. And suicide's hard to talk about with friends and just the general community. The support group was a lot of people that had the same interest in common and the same kind of feelings. So
Yeah.
And I think also as you go to a support group, like Nicole, it's people who they've been through that experience before. And when you try to talk to somebody who has never experienced that, no matter what, they just can't really understand what you're going through. And so that is kind of
complicated
where
death is hard.
It is. And so,
Right.
you can be honest with your feelings when you're in a support group like that because
Yeah.
those people in the group know how you feel.
There's a difference between empathy and sympathy.
Right.
I mean, it's there's people that have empathy that can say, "I'm sorry for your loss," but then there's people that have sympathy that can say, "I understand. This happened
Right.
to me."
Mm-hmm.
And so sharing your story, I mean, is it hard at first to share your story?
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
it took me probably a lot longer than maybe Nicole.
Uh-huh.
It is one of those things that's just very difficult to talk about. I think I was just as guilty as anyone about having that stigma about suicide.
Mhm.
And it was kind of a shameful thing for me to grasp, for me to have to tell the world that I lost my husband to suicide.
Mhm.
And that's not an easy thing to do. Those are not easy words to say.
Right.
But you do get to the point where it comes out naturally.
Right. So, and you tell that story to people that come to your group, right?
Yes.
I mean, you understand that it is not hard to share at first. And what is it that you think, it's probably different for everyone, but what is it that finally allows someone to share it with your group? Is it that they know that you understand, or is it that they finally feel like, oh, I got somebody to talk to?
I think being able to relate to someone, it makes it easier to open up.
Right. Was your experience in sharing your story, was it similar to Carrie's?
Our stories are completely different.
Sure.
I actually kicked and screamed the whole way. I didn't want to go. My younger sister wanted to go. And me being a big sister, you can't let your sister go alone.
Right.
So
Well, you can't let your sister be right.
Right.
That's the
Right.
other thing. There's no way you can't ever admit that sister was right.
yeah, so I think it's great even for the resistant, But the one good thing about the suicide group is we know everybody's story is completely different.
Mhm.
We don't compare. You just sympathize with each other and help each other heal.
Right. How many sessions did you attend before you started to feel like something was happening?
I think you take something from every single one because I
Mhm.
think you get something from every single person that contributes. So,
And I really think that even that first time you begin to understand that, you know what, I'm not the only one.
right.
There are other people who have gone through this, and I'm not alone in the world in what I've been through.
Mhm.
And there is something empowering about that and healing about that to recognize that. And for me, it was a healing experience for me to be there as a support for other people as they would come into the group. And, and of course that's how I became a facilitator of the group. So,
Right.
but for me, that I think was an important part of my healing process, is to recognize that I did go through this horrific experience, but because I went through that experience, I've been able to gain more empathy for people, and I've been able to, I can feel what they've gone through. I know what they've gone through because I've been through that. Not their specific story. We can't ever completely understand what somebody's gone through. Just because we've even shared a similar experience doesn't mean that I know how you feel.
Right.
Everybody still has their own journey to travel in this world, and yet I can empathize with people to a degree that most people cannot.
Right. You're the travel agent, right? You're
Right.
you're here to help them. You're here to help them on the journey and book
Right.
them, and you've got some experience. You know where the bumps in the road are and that kind of stuff. But the experience they take away from it is their personal one.
Right.
Right. But there are probably some common things that you guys share, and some tips that maybe you can give someone who's watching right now that might be going through this and is a little hesitant to come to a support group. What do you say? I mean, like that guy right out there, see him sitting on that chair right there. It looks like
Yeah.
a nice chair. All that. No. I mean, those folks that are out there, well, they're watching right now. I mean, invite them. What do you say?
Well, I would have to say that I recognize that a support group isn't for everyone. And I'm
Oh.
going to say that right up front.
Good point.
Because everybody grieves in their own way. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you have to go to support group to get better.
It's not
Because
a
there are
cure-all.
some people that's just not, it just doesn't work for them.
Right.
But then there are other people who, and I thought I was one of those people that no way am I going to go to a support group. But I did. I took that hard step, because it is a very difficult one, to go to that first meeting and to, you're so vulnerable.
Yeah.
And you don't know what's going to happen, and you don't know who's going to be there. And so it's a very difficult step to take, but it's also one that that can be very healing. To connect with people. I have made friendships in that group that you would never have met otherwise. Nicole and I have become the best of friends through that group.
Wow.
And it can be a very great opportunity for people to move through that grieving
I'll bet
process.
Nicole would be kicking and screaming to be dragged away from the group at this point. Is that right?
She might be.
I absolutely love the group. I look forward to it every month. It's nice to have a place that you can just kind of go and I can breathe. I can tell my story. I'm not judged. I'm not.
Yeah.
And so I think the coalition was our next natural step. We want to be out there so that people don't have to come to our support group. We want to be able to give people warning signs to watch for and stuff like that.
So what do they watch for? What's a warning sign? Just a couple of them.
Well, I think one of the big things, you need to watch for a big change in their behavior.
Mhm.
And that doesn't mean that, they all of a sudden get really sad. Sometimes if somebody has been really depressed, if they all of a sudden become very happy, that's
Wow.
actually a warning sign that we need to be cautious of. If somebody has a stressful life event, we need to be a little bit more caring of that person. Let's cut them some slack, because you never know what else is compounding that situation.
Right.
Other warning signs?
Giving away possessions,
For sure.
more sleeping, less sleeping, just the change in their daily routines.
Mhm.
But the biggest thing I think is listening to what they say.
Right.
When they say, I don't want to be a burden to someone,
I feel trapped.
I feel trapped, yeah.
I
I
just
can't
don't
do
feel
this
like I can-
anymore.
Right.
Wow.
Then most often people aren't going to come out and tell you that I'm thinking about taking my own life. That's not something that people will typically say, but we can pick up on those verbal cues that they give us. That hey, you know what, they're struggling a little bit more than usual, and maybe I need to be there for them. Maybe I need to ask that hard question: are you thinking about taking your own life? Are you thinking about suicide? And you ask that question straight up, so that then you can have that open and honest conversation with them, and you can get them the help that they need.
Wow. Wow.
So,
That's right. Does this sound like you out there, or anyone that you know? Does this sound like you? Because these ladies are here to help. They're here to help. Do you have to be a Brigham City resident to join your group?
oh, absolutely not.
No?
Neither one of us are actually
Really?
Brigham City residents, no.
You guys don't check addresses or anything
No.
at the
No.
door? Or
It's Brigham City and surrounding areas, so we're more than happy to help anyone who needs it or would like
anybody
to join
can
us.
come? Age limits?
Anybody can come
Have
and
an
join
age
the
limit?
coalition. We don't. We've actually have a couple of high school students who are interested at the moment that have contemplated coming and joining us.
Wow.
I mean, it's open to anybody who wants to help with this subject. We meet the third Monday of every month at the health department in Brigham City.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you
At
pointed
noon.
that out, because the one thing we've not covered is how can people get connected with you? How do they do it?
We have a Facebook page. We usually update pretty regularly, once or twice a day. They can PM us. They can check the website. We have numbers directly. So
They can PM you?
Uh-huh.
Oh, private
Private
message.
message, sorry.
Oh, okay, great. Spell it out for us old people that don't understand Facebook and all of that. So there's a number of ways that they can get in touch with you, and they're welcome.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yep, and we try to stop in at all our local events at the high schools, stuff like that. So Peach
Right.
Days, we have booths. So.
Yeah.
Do either of you feel like you've healed a little through this process?
Absolutely.
Oh, for sure. It kind of helps us, at least me, it helps me to feel like, even though this happened to me, I can make something positive out of it. Because of
Wow.
what happened to me, I can hopefully be that positive influence in someone else's life.
Wow.
I was probably even worse than Carrie when we first started, honestly. I didn't want to look at pictures. I didn't want to talk about her, anything. And now I'm more than proud to carry her poster around in parades and events and show people her story and how she struggled and what we can do to help people in our community.
Wow. I want to talk to you guys all day. I mean, I'm serious. I just want to sit here and just chat about all of this. Did we cover everything, or did I leave something out? Because
think we
seriously, I'm
probably
just
could
like,
talk all day.
really.
We do a lot. Yeah.
Really? Thanks for joining us for the first hour of our talk. No, Nicole and Carrie, thank you for being here and sharing your stories. I hope that
One thing
this helps.
we do want to share, though, is we do put on a community event in May, usually, and then we do a fundraising event in September. It's an annual walk at Pioneer Park in Brigham City.
Okay, and they can get information on your Facebook page
Correct.
also.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay, Brigham City Suicide Prevention Coalition.
Brigham
Right.
Suicide Prevention. No city.
No city. Okay. no city. Brigham Suicide Prevention Coalition,
Correct.
right? Oh my gosh, this poor radio host. I'm giving up right here. No, this is Untamed TV with Craig Bielik, your host, and then Carrie. I don't know that I got your last name, Carrie.
Rutherford.
Rutherford, and Nicole.
Okay.
Nicole K.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank
From Brigham Suicide Prevention Coalition on Untamed TV. Guys, don't sit out there and grieve. Don't sit out there and suffer. There are people that can help you, and these two ladies will do it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for joining us today and bringing those earrings. Those are fabulous, man. I'm getting a pair of those for the next show. I really am. You watch.
We'll tune in.
You guys watch. You better tune in. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.